We'd like to take the opportunity to show you that it's possible to use a smoke evacuation device and actually realize its real value, which is as an aerosol capture device. Today, we're going to show how the mini square, which is currently used in the operating room, can be used outside the operating room as well for protection of the healthcare worker. What we've come to realize is that our product called the mini square, used currently in the operating room to capture surgical smoke and bioaerosols, should be more fully thought of as an aerosol capture device, which means not only smoke, not only bacteria, but why not viruses? It started to get us to think about, could we play a role in protection of the healthcare worker just as we protect the perioperative team in the operating room? How about the worker on the ward taking care of the COVID-19 patient? So this is what we've come up with, and I'm hoping that you'll agree that it offers something of advantage to the healthcare worker. This is the mini square product. You may be familiar with it. Consists of a plenum and 6 feet of tubing, flexible tubing, and has an end to it which will be connected to an olla filter. Now remember, in smoke evacuation, this is the capture device, this is the open capture area, and you need to have an olla filter, which is perfect for us because the virus will be captured by the current specifications of the olla filter, i.e. the virus is about 125 nanometers, 0.125 micron, and the olla filter is able to capture 99.99% of particulates down to 100 nanometers or 1/10 of a micron. That's fortuitous and it's lucky for us. And we'll get to that a little later. Now, aside from the mini square, the other component, of course, is the enclosure itself. This is 24 by 24 by 24 inches. It consists of a top, and then the rest of it folds out on its own wire support system to form 3 sides. This is the top. The 4th side will be an open plastic, which we'll demonstrate at this time. I've already assembled the tent. You can see the patient would be within this aspect, propped up on pillows. It has 3 sides as well as the bottom, which is all covered with the plastic. The top of it, which we'll bring down a little later, is the 4th side, and we'll seal the patient in. As part of this process, we want to bring in the air oxygen humidification, and we can do that with a tube right through the top of the tent. The other part to it is we have to get the viral load out. This is where the mini square comes in again, only this time instead of removing smoke and bacterial aerosol, we hope to remove viral aerosol. This would stay on the pillow immediately adjacent to the patient's head. The tubing would come out of the tent and then be connected to the olla filter. The machine would be turned on and left on continuously so that the viral load can be continuously captured by the mini square. This would probably be changed on a daily basis, as would the tubing. The tent would stay in place until the patient is discharged from the ICU or wherever you are caring for them, because this could be anywhere in the hospital. And now the last part of it is sealing in the patient and the viral load, and that is done by bringing down the 4th side I won't tuck it in for the moment because I don't have to, but imagine then that everything is, the tubing is from the top for the air and mist mixture. The mini square is let out through the bottom. The bed sheet or blanket covers the bottom portion of this, the free edge of this, and the edges are tucked underneath the tent. And that would complete a complete closure or enclosure of the COVID-19 patient. Now, what that means for the healthcare worker is that instead of allowing the patient to freely expel with each breath viral-laden aerosol that would then go into the room and have to be taken out by a room air filter, which is much more difficult to do and expensive, you're basically removing the virus, the viral aerosol, at the point of contact. The same exact principle as we use for smoke evacuation when we put our mini square immediately adjacent to the incision where the smoke is being produced. Now that we've shown you the components of the method that we've devised for isolation of the viral patient and removal of that viral load, let's see what it looks like when we have a patient in the tent. All right, now that we've explained the components of how to isolate a COVID-19 patient by the utilization of an oxygen mist tent, and then how to remove the viral load that is developed within the tent by using the mini square, let's see how that actually looks in a simulation of a patient with the coronavirus infection. All right, here again is the mini square. Its placement is done by removing this sheet of release paper. Underneath is a sticky surface. You would take that off, and then for the convenience of the patient, put it as close to the patient as you can, remembering where the capture area is for the viral aerosol, which is right here along the edge. Okay. The tubing then will be let out through the bottom of the tent, which we'll close off in just a little bit, and then is attached to the OPA filter on the bedside smoke evacuator. The OPA filter happens to be ideal for this particular reason, and that is that the coronavirus, which is approximately 125 nanometers, or a little more than a tenth of a micron in diameter, should be well entrapped by the OPA filter that is specified down to a tenth of a micron with a 99.99% capture capability. So we're lucky in that regard. So once again, the mini square is placed close to the patient in the head and neck area. You can probably place it on the pillow, which would be easiest for them, so it doesn't limit their motion of the head and neck. And then at the top, you will see a tube leading from an oxygen source or a humidifier that goes into the tent to provide the environment that you want. And of course, the oxygen mixture and mist mixture is up to the physician. At that point, now that we have the in and the out part of the tent, now comes the part for isolation, which should not be difficult because all that is needed is to place the blanket over all aspects of this. Now we can see that for complete isolation of a COVID-19 patient and control of their viral load that they expel with each breath, what you need is the controlled oxygen mist mixture, which we have in place. You have a total enclosure of the patient within the tent, and you have the mini square immediately adjacent to the head and neck area, probably positioned on the pillow, connected to an OPA filter that is on continuous suction to allow adequate capture of the viral load, and the smoke evacuator is going continuously at the bedside. This then is what we have envisioned for you and for the protection of your healthcare worker taking care of the COVID-19 patient. Thank you.